I almost didn't walk into the restaurant that night. It had been one of those days where everything felt heavier than usual, the kind where silence follows you, even in crowded places. I stood outside the glass doors of Harper and Stone Bistro in downtown Chicago, staring at my reflection for a second longer than necessary. 36 years old, divorced, business barely surviving, and somehow still agreeing to blind dates I didn't believe in. My co-worker insisted I needed to get back out there. She said loneliness ages you faster than stress. Maybe she was right. Or maybe I was just tired of eating dinner alone. Inside, the restaurant buzzed with soft jazz, low laughter, and clinking glasses. Candlelight reflected off polished wood tables. This wasn't my usual kind of place, too expensive, too polished. But I sat down anyway, checking my phone. 7:42 p.m. No message. No explanation. I exhaled slowly, already preparing an excuse to leave. That's when I noticed her. She was sitting alone near the window, hands folded tightly in her lap. Late 40s, maybe early 50s. Elegant without trying too hard. Her eyes kept drifting toward the entrance, then back to her phone. Hope slowly turning into disappointment. Something about her posture hit me harder than I expected. A waiter approached her table, holding 2 wine glasses. "I'm sorry, ma'am," he said gently, though his voice still carried. "Your guest called. He won't be joining you tonight." Her face changed instantly. Not dramatic, not loud, just defeated. "I see," she said quietly. "That's fine. I'll just have water." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. And then I felt it, that familiar ache in the chest. The one that comes when you recognize pain you know too well. I didn't know her name, didn't know her story, but I knew what it felt like to be left behind in public. People noticed. They always do. A couple whispered nearby. Someone glanced over, then quickly away. She picked up her purse, clearly preparing to leave before the humiliation settled in. I don't know why I stood up. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe I was just tired of watching good people suffer quietly. Before I could overthink it, I walked over. "Sorry I'm late," I said, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. Traffic was a nightmare. She looked up, startled, confused, and then cautious. "I think you have the wrong table," she whispered. I leaned in slightly and lowered my voice. "Please, just trust me for 2 minutes." Her eyes searched my face. I saw fear there, and embarrassment, and something fragile. But she didn't move away. So I sat down. "I didn't think you were coming," she said softly. "I'm here now," I replied. The waiter returned, relieved. "Would you like me to bring the wine back?" "Yes," I said quickly. "Please." She stared at me once he left. "You don't know me," she said. "Why are you doing this?" "Because no one deserves to walk out of a room feeling small." She swallowed hard. "My name is Daniel," I said. "What's yours?" "Claire." The name fit her. We talked. About nothing at first. The weather, the city, work. She was a school counselor. Recently divorced. Still learning how to exist alone again. I told her I ran a struggling print shop and was terrible at pretending my life was under control. The conversation felt easy. Too easy. Then someone at another table raised their glass toward us and smiled. "Congratulations," the woman said. "You two look wonderful together." Claire froze. I could feel the moment slipping, the fragile protection cracking. So I did something reckless. Something completely unplanned. I stood up. "I actually can't wait any longer," I said, my voice steady even though my heart was pounding. Claire's eyes widened. "What are you?" I reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out a simple silver ring. It wasn't expensive. It had belonged to my mother. I carried it without knowing why. I dropped to one knee. The restaurant went silent. "Claire," I said, "will you marry me?" Her breath caught. She leaned forward, whispering urgently, "Are you insane?" "Probably," I whispered back. "Just say yes. Please." Her hands trembled. Her eyes filled with tears, not of humiliation this time, but shock. Then she nodded. "Yes," she said softly. Applause erupted around us. Cheers. Smiles. Phones came out. I slid the ring onto her finger. It fit. When I stood, she hugged me tightly, holding on like someone who had almost fallen. Later, when we were finally alone again, she laughed shakily. You just changed my entire life in 5 minutes. I was just trying to save your evening, I said. Well, she replied, touching the ring, you succeeded. The next morning, reality hit. Videos, messages. A local blog picked up the story. Strangers, engagement, fate. We met for coffee to talk. We can tell the truth, I said. Right now. She shook her head. Let's wait. Just a little. I need time to breathe. So we agreed. 2 weeks. Appearances only. But life has a way of complicating plans. We talked more, laughed more, shared old wounds, grief, regret, hope. The pretending faded. Somewhere between shared breakfast and late-night conversations, it became real. One evening, sitting in my empty shop after closing, Claire looked at me and said, You know, I haven't felt seen in years. Until you sat at that table. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. 3 months later, I proposed again. No audience, no applause, just truth. And this time, when she said yes, nothing felt rushed, fake, or forced. Sometimes, the bravest love stories don't start with romance. They start with kindness. Thank you for watching Classic Stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that remind us how powerful compassion truly is.